Where are you going?
We're about to blast off.
We're about to take off in this thing.
Pew.
It's like skyrockets in flight.
Sky rockets in flight. Boo! Afternoon delight. Boo!
That was
Ooh,
awful.
afternoon delight.
People are gonna be like, what? It's. They're not even on the screen yet, and we can hear them talking.
Like, what is going on?
Yeah, it's happening.
It's always happening. It's
It is
2021. It's just 2020 with bangs.
Self-cut bangs.
Perfect.
Oh, hello everyone, and welcome to the Funky Panther, coming to you from Fort Worth, Texas. We've got an awesome show for you today on episode 35. We got a special guest here, Ben Walter. You want to say hey?
What up?
Yeah, so sit back, relax, and enjoy, and let's get into it. I'm Chad.
I'm Javier.
And I'm Tim.
And we are
the Funky Panther! Yeah.
I think that went pretty good.
Yeah, it went all right.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
Best one yet.
Yeah, I think we've been messing around with some of our lighting and some of our video and some of our intro situations, looking a little bit more profesh, as we go along.
Yep.
What'd you think, Ben?
I think it was pretty tight.
That's all that matters.
We paid you to say that, though. So
We did.
You know.
We did.
Actually,
Lots of
full
money.
disclaimer: we don't pay any of our guests to come on. So, just saying.
Sometimes they pay us.
Come on.
That's actually true.
Come on, what?
Dang it, I'll get the check to you guys in a little bit. Okay, God.
No, you brought some sake, so we're going to
Yeah.
get into that here in a little bit. We did already open up, though, this, what was it? It was the pizza.
Space
Where's
pizza?
the can? Yeah, Space Pizza by Martin House, and it is weirdly delicious. Like it tastes. What does it taste like? Like a Totino's pizza roll, pizza combo.
Bosses mixed with a little bit of Little Caesars.
Yeah, I feel like I'm sitting in a Boss's Pizzeria, like drinking my pizza.
You put it up to your nose, and like I smell pizza sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It would be really good in a Bloody Mary. Like for real, it would be great in a Bloody
I agree.
Mary.
I did. That's the first thing I thought. Like, I was like, man, what if they made like a michelada out of this?
Okay, Martin House people, if y'all are listening, y'all heard it here. We want it as a Bloody Mary. So
But it's
Get on
delicious.
it.
Even after drinking it, I'm smelling it in my cup, and it smells really.
Should have brought a bottle of vodka and we could have just done it.
God
Right?
damn. Oh, my God. Oh.
And some siracha.
Yeah, man.
oh, dude, a little sriracha in there would be fantastic.
Hey, did you notice that your mug says the guest on it?
Heyo.
Hey, look at that.
What?
We're fancy.
We're
Let me
a
just
little
say,
bit
we are
fancy.
fancy.
This is fancy.
We try.
I feel like we're right at that like Joe Rogan level at this point.
You got
Sure.
a better set than Joe Rogan. I'll tell you that much.
The fucking guy works in a silo. God damn it.
Like, what the hell were you thinking, bro?
I'm gonna go ahead and open
What
up.
is it? It's like
this-
it's just a giant tube with like lights and stuff, right?
It's a
The
silo.
red
Yeah.
color
Yeah.
is horrible,
Yeah,
and
it
it's
looks
like
bad.
it just looks horrible.
Yeah. I mean, ours is pretty red.
It's like red lights.
Right, the red
You're
light.
like
Yeah.
accented with red, and you've got like interesting things in the background.
Right.
Yeah. No.
So this past week on Thursday, we mentioned it last week, we went to False Idol because on Thursdays, whatever their special beer of the night is, you get a glass to take home with you. And they had these really nice, fancy glasses. And so we went. A lot of us went, which was kind of nice. There was probably 6 or 7 of us there. Sorry, Tim. Yeah, I know you had to work.
Yeah, I was
I
working.
don't mean to put it in your face.
Thank you.
But it was a good time. Hanging out, drinking some beer. It'd been a little bit since we went to a brewery other than Maple Branch. I feel like Maple Branch is where we've been a lot recently.
Yeah.
But this one is called Another One. Like DJ
Another
Khaled.
one.
Another one.
Another one.
Another one. It's just a New England IPA. So I'm gonna
Oh,
pop
like
this
the
open.
toothbrush guy, right?
What?
Brush your teeth, Kevin. Another one. Have you not seen that commercial?
I have no
Oh,
idea.
it's got
what
him
you're
on there.
talking about.
Hey, okay, real quick. How old are you, Ben?
30.
Do you remember? I forgot what cartoon block it was, but it'd be like, after these messages, we'll be right back. It was a cowboy. You don't remember?
I remember that, but I don't know what it's from. I
forgot what it was
are you,
from.
Are you asking him to try to figure out what it's from?
Yes.
All right. Well, while we talk, Ben, go ahead and research that.
Let me get on that real quick.
That's ridiculous.
Priorities.
So something else we did this past weekend, we went to Dane's Barbecue. There was, again, I think 6 or 7 of us. The 3 of us went. Jesse went. Tab went. My
Yeah.
parents went. It was a really good time. Have you ever been to Dane's?
I've had Danes. I've never
Yeah.
been, but I've had it. Yeah.
Yeah, because they used to do the pop up at I don't know, where'd you have it before? Was it Panther Island?
It was not. I had it at Panther Island once, and then I had it when they were at the old Americano.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like when they were there for a little, like, hot minute.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, over there. That was over at what Barry.
Barry,
and-
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's the
Barry
Barry
and
Street Ice House?
Yeah.
Barry Street.
Very sure
I haven't been there yet.
Dude, 100%. I would say that Danes #1 gives Franklin's a run for its money down in Austin.
Agreed.
So I feel like Danes is our version of Franklin's.
Dim's fighting words, but all right.
Dude. I'm saying, give it a run for the money. I'm not saying it is Franklin's. Franklin's is OG Texas barbecue,
Well,
right?
yeah.
I've never been there.
But I think Danes is by far the best barbecue in Fort Worth, and I will fight anybody who disagrees with me.
Will you fight a baby?
I'm not going to disagree with you,
I'll
but
fight a
Aaron
baby.
Franklin is a hero, and so he's like
Yeah.
my hero. So I'm like, bruh.
Yeah, he's a really good guy.
And that's why I'm saying,
Yeah.
I think it gives him a run for its money, but I still think personally that Franklin's is probably top notch Texas barbecue in general. Like just the way he and
yeah.
you did this masterclass, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
you
I learned a lot about
nice.
barbecue in like the master class that he had, and but I don't know. I still think that it's hard to go wrong when you get, especially what we got at Dane's.
Yeah.
It was like you can't have your meat unless you eat your
you can't have your pudding
Unless
if
you-
you don't
yeah.
eat your meat. Yeah.
right. What is that?
It's
Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd. Yeah, The Wall. Yeah.
Good album.
And it was basically like $130 platter of like a pound or a pound and a half of every meat. So we had like ribs, we had pulled pork, brisket,
Three different
Three
sausages.
different sausages.
Yeah.
Jesus Christo, man.
Yeah.
And then all the sides.
Like,
Yeah, we literally like they only have
That's a heart
usually
attack.
5 or 6 sides, and they give you 5 on that platter. So we had
Well,
all
literally
5.
more sides than an NBA player. Side chick. Get it?
Oh my gosh.
Sex joke. Because they're whores. The NBA players are.
It would have been funny at first.
I love how you just keep going. Just keep
No,
going.
you get it? You get it?
No, it's. I swear it's funny if you
Look
just.
at me and laugh.
I guess we are.
Remember, I'm a clown.
But it's not because what you want us to do.
I'm so glad we're not going to do that joke off like we talked about
Yeah.
because
It would have been horrible.
you would have failed
I would.
miserably.
I agree.
I mean, none of us are actually comedians though, so
No.
yeah.
I did a
But
stint as one
did you?
in high school.
Really? Yeah. How'd that go?
It was okay for
I mean-
a 17-year-old.
You
High
got a
school
joke?
talent shows.
You remember any of the jokes you did as a 17-year-old?
Hell no.
I'm sure they weren't any dick or pussy jokes.
It's been 13 years, dude.
This man's
13
30 years old. He had-
13 years and like I don't know how many of these.
Right.
No.
This man's lived another lifetime. What are you talking about?
We won't even get into that.
What else? What else have y'all been up to this past week since we've had our last episode? Anything?
No,
No.
absolutely
just
nothing.
working.
The only time I'm doing stuff is if I'm with you guys. So
too.
yeah,
You live a sad, sad life.
I don't though, man.
Why
I'm
don't you
just
look at it from the other side and say that's sweet?
Aw.
dude. Yeah,
Sorry.
It's like there's a John Mulaney joke, whenever you're young and what is it like? Whenever you're old, or when you're young, they're like, "So what'd you do this weekend?" It's like, "Oh, nothing." But now you kind of feel bad about doing nothing, and then whenever you're older, you're like, "You know what? Didn't do nothing. Just
Hey Javier,
yeah."
leave it to John Mulaney.
Yeah, that was a no for me, dog. You lost us real early on that one.
That's my thing. That's the thing about me. I can't
I
tell a
started
joke.
wondering a little bit. I was like,
I can't tell a joke or a story for my life.
but you did so good on like what was the Holly episode, recalling different
quotes.
things. Yeah, two
Yeah,
quotes or
yeah.
whatever. I'm like, okay,
Two for
cool.
three.
You did really good.
Yeah, I tried.
Good lord.
I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ.
Today was a historic day, though. I know we don't talk about politics. and
Happy
we're not gonna
Inauguration
get into it, but
Day.
Happy Inauguration Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, our 46th
46
president.
president. Yep.
Two historic deal. One, our very first female vice president, which is kind of neat. And then also our oldest president of
Yeah.
all time. History was made.
You forgot with Kamala Harris, though. She's the first African American.
East Indian.
Like East Indian. Like there's like 3 or 4 things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for-
she
Woman,
hit a lot
African
of
American, East Indian.
history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
history's being made.
It is really cool.
and I think the first to come out of actually the first to come out of Howard
Really?
Howard University. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Nice.
It's a HU. You know that's their thing.
Okay.
I can't do it because I didn't go to Howard.
Right. And
It's a HBCU.
got it. Was it HU or HBCU?
HBCU. No, it's a that's what that historically black college or
Oh.
university.
Oh, I got you. Got you.
Now we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was it was different and toned down because of everything going on. So it wasn't the certain
Garth
pop.
Brooks sang.
Yeah.
And so he released a there was a TikTok about him talking about, he's like, I'm probably the only Republican here.
Yeah.
And he did this whole thing, but he's like, I want to bring unity. And I was like, that's pretty cool. Like,
yeah.
this
They
man
just wanted to invoke the 90s back into America. I mean, that's
That
pretty much
dude.
like what was happening. So
mullets.
I mean, I'm
and-
here for it, but I was just like, this is invoking the 90s. Really.
mullets and stonewashed jeans. Yes, I'm all for it.
I didn't like the part at the end where he's like, "Call me Girth Brooks."
Girth.
Girth Brooks.
Did he? No, he
No, actually, he did run. He did run out of there. I think I caught. I think I glanced at him running out of there, like going up the stairs.
He like ran out. He shook like several people's hands, and then he was like,
Yeah, it was crazy. That was crazy. Yeah. I caught the end of it
put
because
his
he was.
hat on, and was like, I'm out of here.
That's different.
He's Republican. He's
Yeah.
gotta
Well,
get out
yeah,
of there.
but I mean,
He's got to get out of there.
He's got an image to protect.
What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here.
Sing and get out.
Right. You sent the TikTok, and it was pretty
Yeah.
cool that he was like talking about like this whole message of unity and stuff like that. I mean, I really respect the sentiment there, right?
Dude, I'll
Like,
tell you at this point, if we can just somehow get that spread out and start rebuilding that unity again, I
Yeah.
think we'll be in a much better place.
Unity.
Agreed. So, moving on. Ben, it's about that time that we get into the Funky Five.
Ooh.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
You listen to the podcast,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you
Explain.
kind of know what's happening.
Yeah.
So basically, we're just gonna knock off like real quick 5 questions, and you're just gonna say the first thing that comes to your head. Like if I say, "Hey Ben, what's your favorite color?"
Black.
Black. Okay, so it took a little bit longer than it should, but yeah. So just quick one answer thing, and we'll move on. Unless Javier, of course, comes in with like question 2B,
Yeah, I
question
do.
3C.
Yeah,
do that.
Like,
rule
yeah.
not happening.
No, fuck you.
I will mute your ass.
I'll just yell into Ben's.
Grabs the microphone.
All right. So question 1: what is your favorite Fort Worth restaurant right now?
Black Cat.
Black Cat Pizza. All right. Favorite drinking spot?
Boiled out.
Boiled Out. Okay. I haven't been there in a while.
Dude, that was honorably mentioned on the best spots in Fort Worth was Boiled Out,
However.
and then we got someone saying Boiled Out.
However.
Oh, there's a however.
Last time I went, I'm probably never gonna go back
Oh,
What?
no.
because there's a bunch of kids there. They're like 22 and 23,
Oh
and it's
no.
annoying as f.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
I
And
feel
I'm
ya.
like, well, crap.
You were a nice spot. We had a good run.
Yeah, we had a good run. I'm old now. Crap. I just want to sit here and drink my Jester King and like maybe have a cigarette. And no, you're over here bumping. No, I'm out.
So what's next? What's is there a
I mean, I think with Sakushi being
Alternate?
at like Hot Fusion all the time, Hot Fusion just become a place for me.
yeah, we are big fans of Hop Fusion as well.
It's just easy.
Yeah. All right. Number 3, favorite local musician.
God. Vern Jackson.
Vern Jackson,
Never heard
okay.
of Vern Jackson.
He's actually the guy that
Michael.
works with me at Sakushi.
Michael Vern Jackson. Laverne.
Laverne.
Okay.
Laverne.
He's going to hate me for saying that.
Well, Tammy
Yeah.
told me today, he's like, oh, his name is Michael Jackson.
Technically, he has a punk band called Doom Ghost.
Doom Ghost. I
Yeah,
love the name.
yeah, so-
Is there any inspiration on the name? Why do you name it Doom Ghost?
I don't know.
Space
Ask
Ghost
him.
was
We
taken.
probably have to have
Ghost,
him on here to
Dr.
ask him.
Doom, MF Doom.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Space Ghost was already taken.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of which, what's your favorite rap album?
Yep. There's the 3B.
Okay.
Man, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't listen to a whole lot of rap.
Really? Well, what's your favorite genre of music?
Probably like punk, like hardcore, that kind
Okay.
of stuff. Yeah.
Old punk, like Tim? Old punk?
Like Wayne Kramer or the Gas Huffers or 10-Foot Pole.
Yep.
Dude, I love all those.
Nice. That was a good off question, right?
You just made those names up.
Yeah.
You got some like punk name generator.
No,
in your-
okay. Punkorama, dude. Do you remember the old Punkorama CDs?
Yeah.
Dude, I love those. So I had like 4 or 5 of the different Punkorama volumes. It had multiple artists, No Effects, like Wayne Kramer, like I was saying, the Gas Huffers, 10-Foot Pole. It had, dude, I had to go back and look at them all, but it was so cool because it had all these different artists that you might not get to hear.
Yeah.
And they all put them on this compilation album, and that every album that they put out was a banger.
Nice. Cool.
If you like punk music,
I'm glad you said punk because Tim, that's the first person I thought about.
dude, I'm more of a grunge, but yeah, I love
Which is
punk.
kind of, I mean, it's like it's a subgenre under
I
punk,
love
so yeah.
I love punk back in the day, but I really like that '90s grunge era. Still,
Have you ever heard of the OCs?
no?
Check them out.
Okay, we'll
It's
do.
like psychedelic punk with a little bit of post-punk like thrown in. It's really cool.
Muy interesante.
He's actually going to look it up right now.
Yeah,
He's typing it in.
Check them out. They have like they spell their name like 4 different ways every like 2 years.
What?
They're freaking weird.
Is it like Prince? Like he used to be Prince, and then he was the artist formerly known as
But
Prince.
John Dwyer is just like he's a freaking genius. But yeah.
Yeah, they'll have to check them out then.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, we got.
All right. Question number 4. What is your favorite podcast?
Timcast IRL.
You mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
So explain what that one is.
So Timcast, he's kind of like basically he got his start. He worked for Vice for a little bit and several different other like publications, but he got his start back in Occupy Wall Street. And so he was like one of the first people that grabbed a cell phone and said, "Hey, I'm gonna start filming stuff and live streaming like riots and like things that are going on." And so he was at Occupy for a little bit. I first got into him because I was at Occupy Wall Street back in 2009,
No
2010.
kidding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in Denton. Yeah, I went to several things. But so I got into him. So basically what he does is he has his like rants, his like political rants he does during the day. But then at night, Monday through Friday, he gets like several different. He'll have maybe a conservative on one night. He'll have like a liberal guy on one night. He just goes and they just have conversations about what's kind of going on. It originally started as a pop culture podcast. But as soon as the pandemic came in, he's like, well, crap. He's like, it's bleeding because they just
Him
wanted
and
to have-
everyone else.
Yeah, he just wanted to have fun. And
Yeah.
so like with that one, because he was doing all the serious stuff on his other channel. And then all of a sudden he was like, everybody's like, what do you think about what's going on, Tim? And he's like, well, like, I guess we're going to turn this into another political podcast. Yeah, go ahead. So, yeah. So I like Tim. He's a little serious. It's not like a very fun podcast, but it's...
Much like our Tim. Real serious, not a whole lot of fun. You know what I mean?
I'm a real big downer.
He's
so they
allergic
tell
to
me.
fun. Like his doctor told him he's allergic to fun, so we got to watch that.
Yeah, if I have too much fun, I just break out in hives.
I mean, you're starting to get a little puffy because I'm here. So,
Well, I'm getting puffy in the right spot.
Alrighty.
Hey, hold on
Question
there.
number
What the
5.
Fuck? That's my line, you son of a bitch.
Question number 5. Favorite show that you have to watch when it comes on TV. So if there's a movie and you're perusing through the channels and you stop and you're like, okay, I'm going to be watching this for the next hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever.
Star Wars Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
Yeah, I can get behind that one.
Ooh.
We got
B
a sub
question.
one. A sub.
Okay, so out of every sequel that there's ever been that has
Mm-hmm.
been made, what's the best? Is
Okay,
Empire?
hold on. Are we talking about sequels as in like the Skywalker saga, or are we talking about like Rogue One and all that kind of stuff?
Oh no,
hang
hold on,
here.
no, this is different. It's not Star Wars
Just
related.
let them.
It's
Just let it happen.
They're going to
Okay.
Star Wars out
because
for a
like
minute.
That's
okay,
fine.
the Star Wars the oh god, okay, so what do you call Rogue One then? Like what's
That's a prequel,
it is a prequel.
but it's not part of the Skywalker saga.
No, it's not. So you're talking episodes 1 through 3 and then 4 through
Six.
4,
through
5, 6.
9.
And then 4 through 6 are original trilogy.
6, yeah, the original trilogy.
7 through 9 are sequel trilogy.
Yeah, okay. Ooh, which one's your favorite trilogy? Oh, no.
Dude, you know we have a. We
I know,
Did
I
you
know,
read
I
the
know, I
notes?
know.
Did you read the notes?
Okay, so I guess
I'm just here.
so is Empire your favorite sequel? Like if any type of movie? Because Godfather 2 is like my favorite of the Godfathers. It's
Well, there's a lot of parallels between Empire Strikes Back and Godfather 2 if you really sit down and think about it. But we won't go through that because that'll take like 3 hours.
And I'm just going to sit back and drink. 'Cause,
I would say yes, probably. It's probably what's one of my all-time favorite movies is Empire
love
Strikes
that.
Back. Yeah.
And another question. So whenever it snows, do you ever listen to like the asteroid field on the soundtrack for Empire? You know when they're going through
Like
the
if
asteroid
it's
field?
snowing, like you're driving.
You're
and-
playing asteroid field on from the soundtrack.
This is
Oh.
a very pointed
Oh.
question.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I don't think I've ever done it, but that would be cool.
That'd be fun. I like doing that.
It doesn't snow much here, so
It
Oh,
doesn't. No.
It did,
Yeah.
what, last week? Week before?
but
but
not,
not enough to feel like you're going through hyperspace.
Yeah.
Like,
not directly here. We got no snow here.
Yeah.
Everybody else around us got it.
I got
but,
snow.
Yeah.
it was like
I
4
do.
inches down in Benbrook, I think, or something like that.
I
was
mean,
nuts.
it snowed quite a bit. There was only probably like 2 inches on the grass.
Yeah, it just rained.
Yeah, but it
Yeah, it
melted
rained
by
here.
like the afternoon.
Sad rain. Yeah, I'm glad you love Empire. Like that's really one of my favorite movies. Also, with sequels. I mean, you can't beat it.
No, you can't.
Is there any other Star Wars things you want to get out of your system? Because
Not yet,
he's-
because we're gonna have a segment over.
Well, yeah, we got a little. We're going to talk about Star Wars
Yeah.
here in a little bit.
Oh,
It's in the notes.
yeah.
if
but-
I'm
okay.
here, Star Wars is talked about. Unfortunately,
I like that.
Everybody in my network knows that. But
And that's completely fine because I mean, you like Star Wars.
I
But-
do.
but not to a level like I like it. You know, Chad's here. I'm like here. I think Javier's a little bit above me.
I'm versed, but not. I think you're completely
Right.
versed in lore, Star Wars lore. So we'll get there.
We'll get there.
we'll get there.
So, moving on though.
Yeah.
More about you. So career path, like
Yeah.
from my understanding,
Yeah.
is you were or are a digital designer or
Yeah.
have dabbled in
You've
that.
done a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of stuff.
Let's
yeah.
take it back, like post college,
Post-college?
things
Well-
you did.
well,
You and I worked together
we
for
worked
a
together
short amount of time,
about a year, I think it
Yeah,
was. Yeah,
I'm not going to talk about where, but we worked together
yeah,
for a while.
No,
yeah.
I knew I wasn't going to mention the
Yeah.
place. I love you enough to know not to mention that place.
Thanks, boo.
You got it. So I actually dropped out of college.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I dropped out. So that's a whole nother story. But so I dropped out of college, and then I literally like 3 or 4 months later I got married. So I got married to my wife Stephanie. I guess it's been almost 7 years this August.
Oh wow!
So
Congratulations on that.
thank you. We have
So that would have been around the same time we worked together, right? Or
yeah.
no?
Actually, we got married while I was
Yeah, I thought so.
yeah. Like so, I actually there was a team meeting that we had, and I think that day like I went to our boss and I was like, so I know I didn't do this and put it on the schedule. I'm very sorry. I thought I did, but it didn't happen. I'm proposing to my girlfriend today. And she was like, no problem, which was weird.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool.
Usually a no.
I don't have to take one of those things, one of those things. She's like, we'll work it out. I'm like, okay, I'll like work like a double someday if you want. She's like, that sounds great.
You were a hard worker, though. You did really well.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, so I went and we got engaged and we got married. And then I came back to work for you for probably about 2 months, maybe.
Yeah.
And I was like, no offense to your current
I get it.
employer,
I
but
get
I
it.
was like, I'm effing done with
It
this.
is not
Like,
for everyone.
I was living in Denton at the time and driving down.
I remember, yeah.
And I wanted to blow my effing brains out.
Yeah.
But anyways, that was the chair.
I hope that picked up on the mic.
I think it did because I heard it.
Hilarious.
It's like, Ben, Jesus Christ, my guy.
I mean, we know you're comfortable, but
Leather
how
chair.
comfortable?
Leather chair.
Just make yourself at home.
It's
Leather
like that
chair.
episode of what was it? There was an episode of something where it's like, it's a chair.
What goes in comes out. Anyways,
Better out than in, I always say.
Everybody poops.
so we worked together for a little while, and then around that time I was actually at a church on staff part time as well, and things happened there, and I moved on from that, and we came back to Fort Worth, and that's when because I had been running kind of a side business, like a creative like design film kind of stuff on the side, and I found a job through a couple of friends that were old ex-seminarians, that they had all said, F the church, like, we're done with the church. Like, we still believe, but we're done. But, hey, we're down here with this company that's like a multi-million-dollar company, and you know what you're doing with photography and film and design. We need an art director. And I'm like, sign me up. And so I went and worked there for about 3 years. That company is no longer in existence. I left probably about 6 months because I got from one of the top guys. He was just like, get out, get out, like get out now. And I'm like, cool, I'm going to go follow my dream to have my own business now. Let's get out. And so I did that. And then like, I remember my boss showed up like the day it happened and like the doors were chained and like, they
Wow.
apparently they broke in and like took all like the like one of the top guys was like, just get in there, take all the IMAX out. That's your paycheck. Sorry. Like,
No
the best I
shit.
can do for you. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. So that's apparently what happened. But I was like, man, had that happened to me that day, I would have taken more than IMAX.
Absolutely.
Anyways.
sorry, guy. Your boy got to get paid.
Which I was like, why didn't you guys call me? Like, I was working at a restaurant at the time.
Yeah,
like,
that's
let's go.
messed up.
Yeah, like let's go. I'll bring a freaking Suburban. We can load it up. Let's do this.
I'm not opposed to some
Real quick
breaking and
rental of a
entering.
U-Haul.
Well, and the whole thing was that the bank took over the business, and so
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was like, well, like they're not gonna, they haven't taken stock of what's in here yet.
Yeah.
And I'm not against, I'm not for stealing, but
But
you are owed something. When you are owed something, I don't know.
you probably should get it.
Yeah, you probably should get it. So, anyways, I left there and I started a little thing called Odd Folk, which some people might remember, some people might not. And it was we were trying to start about a 10,000 square foot creative workspace and coffee shop. And the whole point is that we wanted to get enough space to have a screen printing shop in. We wanted to have a film studio. We wanted to have a commercial kitchen. Like basically my whole idea was to have a one-stop shop for the community to come and do whatever the hell you're wanting to do with your life.
Just everything creative.
Everything
right?
creative. Like, and we're going to have a residency program for kids that are like, I don't know if I want to go to college, but I want to do all this creative stuff, and I don't know what to do. And I'm like, come hang out with us.
God, I love that.
Like, we're going to have a design agency part of it, that we were going to do stuff for local businesses, and then we were going to, the residents, that was going to be their part of their job. Was, hey, on top of half of your time was going to be devoted to doing whatever you're wanting to do with your life and developing that. But then how we pay you is do this work.
Right.
And so it was like 50-50, and so that was kind of the idea. And I ran with that for about a year, and
That's
I got
kind of what Guillermo Tapia is doing. Not quite to
Yeah,
that extent,
right.
but like over off
Yeah.
Race Street, he's got like the rooms he's trying to expand, and it's more of like a creative space. I know that JOE goes up there, and then there's different artists, photographers, rappers, producers, and they're all just kind of like taking over that space as a creative space. And I think that's just a really cool idea,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Especially when you're feeding off of other people's creativity.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's no bounds when it comes to that kind of
Totally.
stuff. That's cool.
And so back when I was starting it, I did a 10 million cups presentation. I had a couple of people that were going to invest. Like, I mean, we were getting there. The couple of investors that I had, they backed out because of some personal family things that happened. And so I was left to try to bootstrap the thing, and I'm like, well, shit. And we were doing pop-ups. Like, we were at several different film festivals around DFW, and just trying to find places to just go make coffee and connect with people and get the idea out there. I had a mental breakdown in that year, and I was about to lose my effing mind. And so I put it on the back burner, and pretty much basically I say back burner. I said, I'm not touching this ever again. I'm done. This is too grand, too great of an idea. Nobody gets it. Like, that was the other thing. At that point in time, nobody understood what I was trying to do. It was so weird of a concept, which I guess you could kind of say when we get into household and Tsukushi.
Ooh.
Some people are already like, Ben, why do I never understand what the hell you're trying to do? And I'm just like, because I'm ahead of the curve, folks. Anyways, but so yeah, so I went from there, and I remember just like looking at stuff, my wife, and just saying like, the job that I missed the most was when I was a kitchen manager at Freebirds. And I was like, I love that job. I hated that job ended because Freebirds was sold to somebody, and like they came in and they were like, hey, like, you got to start at the bottom. And I'm like, screw that.
Can I just say that you look like somebody that would work at Freebirds?
I mean, that's a compliment.
Yeah.
Because, I was there, not at the beginning, but definitely the beginning of the rise of Freebirds in the DFW region.
Yeah.
So I helped open a couple of places and all that kind of stuff. But so I was like, maybe I just need to go back into food. Because that was kind of where I was kind of my trajectory, probably about 2 years before you met me. That's really what my trajectory was. I was going to school, but I was like, man, I just want to be a cook.
Yeah.
And like be a barista and just like smoke weed and love Jesus. Like,
Right.
Like that was, like I was like, that's what I want to do.
Food, coffee, Jesus, and weed.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's a pretty sweet deal.
Yeah. I mean, that's I'm sure that there's people in my network that'd be like, did he just mention weed and Jesus at the same sentence? And I'm like, yes.
It comes from the earth, man.
Yes, I do. Like, we can talk about that if you want to. Go. I have a podcast. It's called Finding Walter. You can go listen to my ideas on that.
Hey-o.
Hey-o. A little
Nice plug there.
plug,
Yeah.
plug.
Hey.
plug. But anyways, so I went and I found a buddy of mine had started as the coffee manager at Lazona over off Magnolia, and he's like, dude, I need a barista stat. And I'm like, all right, how much you gonna pay me? He's like, $8.50 plus tips. And I'm like, God, all right, cool, let's do it. I'd always wanted to work on Magnolia, and so I was like, dude, all right, fine, I'll come do it. And so I was just like in this transition period of like, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, he ended up leaving like a month later, and I took over as the coffee shop manager. And then a month later, we got a new director of operations for both Americado and Lazona because they were owned by the same restaurant group. And when he came on about a month later, he was like, hey, do you want to be assistant director of operations? And I'm like, what? Okay. And so from there, I started working 90 hours a week for 2 restaurants, helping keep them afloat.
Dude,
and then,
that's busy.
oh, dude.
I can't imagine that.
I'm going to get a little deep here, or deep, not deep, but dark even maybe. But the fact is I became an alcoholic. Like, that's what the industry does to you when you're working 90 hours a week.
Honestly, I was about to ask, like, mentally, like, how did...
Well, I didn't see my wife. I didn't see my wife probably for 4 or 5 months. I was sleeping in the back of my Suburban. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and you see that a lot in the food industry. I mean, there's a lot of people who are either recovering or in recovery or full-blown in, addict mode or whatever. It's insane what the food industry can do to somebody if you can't find that proper balance.
Yeah. And for a month and a half, I was working probably about half of the time I was working, I wasn't getting paid for it. And part of the reason was because I wanted to see something be successful.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That was it. Like I was like I've got to do something to make this successful.
Success was your motivation at the point, not the money.
Right. And I mean, I had just come off of a failure before that, and I was like, I've got to have something in my back pocket that I can actually do this stuff. And lo and behold, I think, there would be some people that would disagree with me, but some people would say, no, 100%. Me and the director of operations for that restaurant group, a lot of people would say the reason why that place stayed afloat was because of you and the other guy. And then we got to like November when we flipped Mercado into a food hall, which I didn't sleep for 2 weeks. That was fun. And then we opened it up, and it was a failure. It was a colossal failure. The only thing that kept that place open and people coming was bricks. That was it.
Which food hall?
The Mercado food hall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which it only lasted for like a month and a half.
Where was it? Because I don't
Mercado.
remember
You know where Mercado is? Where Berry Street Ice House is?
Yeah.
So it was there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we closed it down for 2 weeks, and then we flipped it and remodeled some of the stuff ourselves.
So that was the whole thing where it was like 4 different kinds of like.
Right, and there was only one business there that wasn't owned by the restaurant group, and it was Bricks. So we came up with a ramen recipe, and we kept the tacos and all that kind of stuff, and then we brought Bricks in, and we also brought Saint Sophia, which is the churros and coffee. We started doing that over there too, which is the first place that the ownership of the restaurant group actually finally said, yeah, you can bring in some of the coffee you've been trying to talk to us about for the last 6 or 7 months. And I'm like, yeah, I'm tired of buying Avoca coffee for this shop, when it's right there.
Right.
This is ridiculous. Can I use some of my connections to get good coffee in here, please? And they were just like, oh, it's gonna be expensive. I'm like, it's gonna be the same price. Well, we have a. I'm done. But yeah, at the end of that, I was listening to the I think it was the episode with Holly, and you guys were talking about walking out. So this is a funny story about walking out.
Good. Here we go.
So there was this whole big thing on the Sunday before this happened that I was 5 minutes late. I'd never been late. Me and my wife had gotten into a discussion that it was a little heated, and I was running late. And so I got to work. I called the director of operations, hey, dude, I'm running late. He's like, no worries, man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I got you. And so I got there, and okay, the day of, no worries. Worked all day, went home. Tuesday comes along, and Lozona had been closed for lunch for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I get a call at 10:30, 10:45. I'm I wake up, I'm hungover, and I'm because I didn't think I had to be anywhere till 5 when we opened Mercado, and it's my boss, and he's like, Ben, you're gonna hate me. You need to get to Lozona right now. And I'm like, why? It doesn't open till 5. And he was like, nope, we want to open it they want to open it right now. I'm like, we're not even prep for lunch. He's like, just get there. And I'm like, so I get up, I throw clothes on, I get there, and we get there, and basically short story of that is that everything was spoiled. Everything was spoiled. Our kitchen manager hadn't done his job, and it was bad news bears. And then that day, I had a very, very hard conversation with the owner. He basically ran me through, said everything was my fault, and I'm like, okay. And so then we kind of got into it kind of got a little better, because he was trying to wrap it around. He was like, oh, if I push Ben a little too far, he's just going to walk out. But I still need him. So, but we can do better. Are you in with this on me? And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, we can maybe come back from this. All right. So as I'm getting up to leave, and it's in between 2 and 5, which is the time when we would close. And so I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to go down to Boiled Owl and drink a little bit, and then I'm going to come back. And so as I'm leaving out, he's like, he turns as he's walking out the door and turns, he's like, and clean this place up before tonight. And I'm like, and so my director of operations is sitting there like, book. And so he's like, he knew I'd had enough. And so I go back into the office, I grab a piece of computer paper, and I said, this is my 2 weeks, I resign. I fold it up, I hand it to him, and he looks at it. He's like, all right, cool. So the next day I come, and I go to Mercado to open up Saint Sophia. And I look at it, and at this point in time, I'd had a conversation with my wife, and I'm like, I'm just ready to be done. I don't know if I
Right.
can last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And she's like, I get it. She's like, well, you do what you need to do. I love you. And I'm like, cool. So I get to work the next day at 4:30, and, you know, my boss comes up to me. We're chatting. We were friends, and so, you know, we're just chatting. And then I just look at him like, if nobody walks in that door by 5:30, I'm out. And he was like, makes sense. he's like, I wish I could follow you. And I'm just like, I get it. And so 5:15, nobody. 5:20, nobody. 5:30 rolls around, and I'm like,
Okay, bye.
and he was like, all right, see you later. I get in my Suburban and I drive straight to Lazona, where Vern, who you guys have met, Vern, who's the guy that does Sakushi with me, is bartending that night. And so I park, I walk in, and I sit at the bar, and he's like, what are you having? And I'm like, not a job. That's what I'm having. and basically I sat there, and he just kept pouring me drinks until they closed. And like, from what I found out later, like the owner, like I guess was watching the camera. He's like, what is this all about? Like he walked out and he's sitting at our other restaurant drinking. Like, what is he even paying? Like, and all this stuff. And like came out later that, you know, like, no, I wasn't paying, but like at the same time, like my boss was just like, it's on me. Like before, like the owners were like, well, we need to get money out of him. He's like, no, it's mine. I'll cover the bill.
Yeah.
But which is cool. But yeah, so that's my walkout story. Is I just walked out and I went to the other restaurant and drank for the rest of the night.
Dude, I love how your boss had your back, though.
Oh yeah,
I love that. That's like,
oh, we had each other's back the whole time. We would get in a meeting and we would just get our butts chewed out for an hour and a half, and then like we would be like, they would leave, the owners would leave, and then we would sit there, and then all of a sudden, like he would just like breathe out a sigh of release. He's like, fuck. I hate this job. And I'm like, that was the first time I ever was with a boss that was like, I hate this job. And I'm like, dude, me too. Which made us even more like cohesive and trying to work together to try to make it better. And so, yeah.
Because you're honest. And
and I was like,
other.
cool, thanks. You know, like I hate it too. And he's like, I'm like, I hate leaving this place on Friday and Saturday night at 5 a.m. in the morning. Like, this sucks. And so, anyways, but from there, when I quit, I didn't really know what I was going to do. I got like a freelance job with a law firm, and then I went to work for Black Cat. And then that's around the time that I was like, you know what, I'm ready to go back into my own thing. That's when we started Household. And so from there, I mean, I did Black Cat and Household for a little bit, and then I started working at Sodexo last year.
So Household was last summer? It was about a year
2019, summer 2019.
So a year and a half ago. Everything in the past year
it's
seems
been
like a blur.
weird.
So
No, I
a
get
year
you.
before the COVID year,
Yeah,
right?
no, yeah.
So 2019, and y'all had like little pop-ups, and I remember because Jesus and I went on, I think day one, because we were real interested in seeing what was going on, and y'all had like pour over coffee and some like meat pies and scones, right? Like you had all sorts of stuff. It was really cool.
We had an al pastor hand pie.
Yeah, I didn't get the al pastor
which was
one.
it was a mushroom al pastor hand pie.
Right. I got one. I mean, everything was really good.
Yeah.
It was really delicious. It was fun.
And so that was all underneath the Household brand, correct?
Yeah, so that was Household.
That was Household.
That was Household.
Okay, so that actually puts us into this whole mode of Sakushi Sando and Household.
Yeah.
What are y'all?
So the story behind it, which you guys
What are you?
What am I? What am I doing? I started Household. It was just going to be a bake shop and a coffee shop. That was basically what we were going to do with it.
Right.
And then COVID happened.
Yeah.
And like there was a couple things before that had happened. I had started working at like this big, huge national catering company as a coffee director. And I was like, cool, that's going to go on the back burner until I figure out exactly what I want to do with it. And so COVID happened, and then we spent COVID trying to like, am I going to do something with this? Like, what am I going to do? Eventually, yes, maybe. And then I just was like, you know what? Like, yeah, let's try several different things over this. Like, everybody's trying things. So let's just try
why
stuff.
not?
So I did like a hiking group with it for a little while this summer. Like, I'd have like a couple of kids come out, and we would talk about philosophy and all this different kind of stuff.
Was that you, Tim?
That was me.
You always
I apologize.
you got one. We got him, Javier. We got him,
ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
We got him. He messed up.
Fuck you, Tim.
You messed up, you fool.
What's bad is I could have cut all that out.
Not anymore.
not now.
It's go down.
Not now.
Not now, motherfucker.
We got you.
Gotcha.
All right.
God damn it.
Sorry. Continue on.
No, you're good. Basically from there, I was like, I don't know if this is really what I do. And so that's what 2020 has really done for, I think, a lot of people. Is like, what the heck do I want to do with my life?
Yeah.
And so
Most definitely.
I came to this place where I was like, okay, I know I want to cook. I know I want to do something with coffee, and I know that I want to like help people. Like that's what I want to do. I want to help people do the things they want to do in their life. And so I was still trying to figure out what like household was going to be under that. I was like, okay, cool. And then Joe, which everybody knows Joe, old Joe.
Joe was on, Joe Marone. What was that episode named? It was like, so you like to eat or something? It was a...
Yeah, I think that's what it was called.
Yeah.
I'd have to look.
Yeah.
So Joe and I are good buddies. We graduated from the same school district, went to the same high school at way different times, obviously. But
Are you calling him old?
Yeah, he's old.
Yeah, he's old.
He doesn't. You would never think he is, but
No.
like, yeah, he's old.
That boy old as
So basically, he like hit me up one night, and there's this pop up that's been going on since June or July, Sandoichi. And he remembered me while he would come to Lozona like all the time because we were one of his accounts, and we would sit and chat for forever. And so he would come, we'd chat, and I remember him talking to me about, he heard me talking about, man, have you heard of these Japanese sandwiches?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, like the egg salad? I was like, no. Check out this place in LA that does these sick ass Japanese sandwiches. It's like elevated. And he was like, bro, you should do that. And I'm like, maybe someday, and so he saw Sandoichi like blow up, and
they came to Dallas, right?
They started in Dallas,
Okay.
and then
they went to LA.
They went to LA, and then they've come back, and now they're in Austin right now. They're like moving around.
Because he did talk about it, and it was episode 15,
Yeah.
which we had him on. So
Yeah.
it was back in the summer, I believe. But he was talking a little bit about it right before y'all got started.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was pissed off that they left because he wanted to get one.
No, yeah, that was kind of both of us. We were just like, what the
He's like, we could do that, right? Like
yeah.
local.
And so the when they announced they were leaving that night, he messaged me and he's like, Wonder Twin powers activate. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, we're going to do Japanese sandwiches. And I'm like, how? He's like, you've made katsu before. You've made chicken katsu and it's good. Like, let's do it. And I'm like, all right. And so, yeah, so we started working on it, getting the branding together, and he came up with the name, and then I ran with the look.
I figured Joe was the name.
Yeah.
Sexy Sandwiches.
So,
right?
and it's Sexy Sandwiches. I go with the cute.
Oh, okay.
I because it's technically
Both?
it's both sexy or cute.
Okay.
I go with the cute just because of times, current times. I'm like, I don't know how everybody's gonna like us.
Cute sandwich.
It's a cute sandwich, not sexy.
Oh my
It's
God.
no sexy.
Welcome to my cute sandwich.
And I mean, when you look at it, it's cute. So
It's cute, yeah,
so
it is.
whatever.
Didn't taste it.
So anyways, so we started working on it, and at the same time, I was like looking at Household as being like a catering company, and
Yeah.
maybe some other stuff, and so I was like, cool. Sakushi and Household are gonna be, this is gonna be just a project I'm doing with Joe, and eventually, maybe if something happens with it, maybe we'll just hand it off to somebody. Maybe somebody wants to buy it and they'll buy our recipes. Who knows? We didn't know what we were gonna do with it. We were just trying something out.
Yeah.
And so basically from there, we did the first one. And at the first one, Joe comes up to me like middle of the day when there's no orders going out. And he's like, hey, let's talk. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, what are you about to do? And he's like, this is yours. And I'm like, huh? Like, he's like, I'm like, I just want to light a fire under your butt to actually do something. And I'm like, wait, did you just manipulate me? And he's like, in the best way possible.
You know what's funny? He told me.
And I cried a little bit because I was like, you just made me get up off my ass to do something. He's like, and I'm like, love you, man.
Joe's a good dude.
Yeah,
He told me before. He's like, I'm gonna tell him that it's his. I don't want anything to do with it. Like, I want him to have it. And I was like, really? It's like, all right, well, cool, man. So then I guess he told you right after.
Yeah.
You're like,
and like,
is this insider information?
I guess
yeah,
so.
at first I was like,
Sell the stock. Sell it all.
Has he seen how it's functioned today? And he's like, man, after this, I don't want any part of it. But I was like, nah, that's not
This
Joe.
is work, and
Like-
I've got 18 other things going on.
Like, I don't want to do this. I mean, it could have been some of that, and I don't
Right.
really care. But so after he left, I was like sitting there, I'm like, hold on a second, I've got like 2 businesses now. What the hell? What do I do? And
Right.
at that time, nothing was necessarily like incorporated. Like there was no we were just throwing it out there to make a little bit of money, and if we made enough money, we were gonna go do all the paperwork.
Right, yeah.
That was that's what I've been taught by my brother, who's like an accountant, and like he's been doing finance for like 10 years. That's what he taught me to do with any of my businesses. He's like, dude, don't go buy an LLC or do any of that kind of stuff until you've made $5 to $10 grand. Don't do it. It's a waste of money until you've gotten there.
Okay.
As we all look at each other.
Whoopsie doopsie.
It's just you got to be real careful
Right.
as you're going. So,
Right.
and technically we are, but so household is underneath a sole proprietorship under me. So I have my tax ID for household and all that kind of stuff. But Sakushi is just kind of like out here, like I need a home.
Right.
You know, I need a home. And so like I was like, what the hell do I do with this thing? Do I just keep trying to make enough money? And I'm like, wait, DBAs. Brilliant. Like I only have to pay this much money for a DBA and it can exist under household.
So
Yeah.
DBA stands for double bitch ass, right? Is that correct?
Doing business as.
Oh, yeah. I knew that.
I mean,
I
I
knew
guess
that.
if you want to call me a double bitch ass, I was bullied in high school, so I guess I can take it. But
Doing business ass. Right.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah,
knew that.
yeah,
I knew
everyone
that.
knew that.
Everyone
Yeah,
knew that.
mhm.
Sorry. Continue.
and so yeah, so basically, and then I was like, okay, wait, how do I was like sitting there, I'm like, how do I like, what do I want to do? You know, like what do I want to do with this? And so like one day I just locked myself in my office and I was like, figure it out. Like, what's the mission statement? What's
Yeah.
the vision statement? What are you doing?
Right.
And so then all of a sudden, and it's funny, this happened in 5 to 10 minutes. Like, I'm not kidding you.
Is that when you drop that Instagram post? Like this is what
No,
household is,
no.
or
So this was before that.
Okay.
So, and I'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, cool. Household. We are purveyors of gastronomy, coffee, and hospitality.
Yeah.
That's what we are. And then our mission is to, just do stuff. Like, I mean,
yeah.
like,
It's a hell of a mission.
I mean,
we do stuff.
do the stuff that we want to do, make
yeah.
the food that we want to make,
Yeah, why the
roast
hell
the
not?
coffee that we want to make. Like, and so basically, my first process was like, who the F cares if you understand what we're doing? Do you like the food and the coffee? Good. Enjoy it. Sit down. Enjoy my hospitality.
Damn. That's an amalgamation of, is I use the right word? Of of the things that you were talking about.
Yeah.
yes,
I love that.
And so,
that's the word of the day.
and
Amalgamation.
I mean, obviously, like household has been existing under this like slogan of "for better" for the whole.
What does that
time.
mean?
So for better, I mean, for me, it means better food, better coffee, better life. But for you, it can mean something completely different.
Like better pizza, better service, Papa John's.
Episode sponsored by Papa John's.
Never thought about that, but crap.
I'm giving
Bully! No, I love Chad. I
so
love Chad.
basically what you're saying is you want For Better to be open to interpretation.
Yeah, because at the same time, like, as we're like a hospitality catering like company, and I'm also, I guess, an amateur philosopher. And so like I'm like I also just want it to be an idea that's just out there.
No, I like that.
Don't
get me
no,
wrong.
no, I get you because I know this is kind of a comedy podcast too. So I knew what I was walking into. I can take it.
So whatever is for good, like
For better.
for better for you, might be different for me.
Right, and it's kind of the whole idea of like you have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
It's funny because we've got something similar, and we just started saying it. We've said it between the three of us, and we mention it on some of our like Instagram posts and stuff like that. And we sometimes say it on the podcast, but like we say "stay good."
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a very similar. Like it's assuming that people are inherently good, but just doing the best.
Yeah.
Right. Like the best,
Doing
that
the
you,
best you
can,
can.
just doing good. Just
And
be
then
good.
it's also so I'm reading a book right now called The Second Mountain, and it's by David Brooks, and he talks about how we all like climb the first mountain in our lives, and it's like the first mountain is all about like getting like accolades and success and wealth and all this kind of thing. These are not necessarily inherently bad things.
Right.
However, at some point in time, you're going to get knocked off that mountain. And you have a choice when you're sitting down in the valley. You can either just keep climbing that mountain, keep getting knocked down, or you can look at the second mountain.
Right.
So
And,
if you get knocked down, you get up again.
Yeah.
They're never going to keep me down.
Yeah. Never.
You guys are too quick-witted for me sometimes. I can keep up, but then there's like I went the deep, and I was like, wait, where are we going? Oh, dang it, guys, I'm still out. Dang it.
You just got tub thumped.
Yeah.
Is what happened there.
I'm tired of being down here.
All right. So
So
let's.
yeah. So anyway, so yeah.
Let's talk about Sakushi Sando.
Yeah.
Talk about when you
Yeah.
when you were at Hop Fusion, because you do it at Hop Fusion,
Yeah.
right? Your little pop up,
Yeah.
which is phenomenal. It was at Panther Island for a little bit, moved over to Hop Fusion.
Yep.
Which both of our favorite breweries, really, right? And you've also like expanded the menu. I know that when we first got there, or when you first started, and we went to Panther Island Brewing, you had 4 sandwiches. That was the menu, right?
Yeah.
Now you've got 5 or 6 sandwiches,
We
and then
rotate.
also the fries,
fries,
right? So
yeah.
let's talk about when and like menu items and
Yeah.
why.
So the staple is the Rodin, which is a fried chicken katsu, but it's kind of a take on a Nashville Nashville hot chicken.
We go to Nashville.
But it's kind of a take on Nashville hot chicken, but instead it's more of like a Japanese
Right.
hot chicken. So when you're making Nashville hot chicken, you put cayenne in the flour. So when I was sitting there thinking about my chicken, I was like, why don't I just use Japanese 7-spice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tim's over here taking notes.
I'm like, dude.
I don't care. I mean, go home and make
No,
it.
no, no, no. That makes
Yeah.
that
No,
makes
yeah.
sense. Yeah.
And so, and then use panko breadcrumbs, and I was like,
Yeah.
boom, done.
It's
Like,
delicious.
Yeah. And so that's that one, and then we had the black orchid, which is basically the same thing, but it's just a big, huge portobello mushroom.
I never got that one. Was it you, Javier, that said that?
Damn, it was fucking delicious. There's so much.
Okay, calm down.
I was telling Ben like the other
comes
night.
out of nowhere
I was like,
with
Jesus fucking. I think that was only like my favorite one.
And it was only ordered. It's only been ordered 3 times.
Son of a bitch!
What?
Seriously?
Yeah.
Dude,
I think a lot of people are afraid of
Yeah.
the mushroom
Mushroom.
aspect. Yeah.
They
The
are.
flavor.
So that goes back to the fact that our chicken is miso brined. So
Yeah.
we mix miso and buttermilk together and leave it in there for either anywhere up from 12 to 72 hours. I mean, like it just sits there.
Yeah.
Like until like we're like, okay, it's been a week, toss it. But which just makes it juicy. But so and that like you can't buttermilk brine a mushroom.
Right.
So because I mean it's just gonna dissolve.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, wait, I still want because like basically my whole idea was I wanted to have something that was vegetarian that would still taste like that,
Right.
but it would also be easy and I didn't have to come up with some mystery meat, something like that. So I was like, okay, let's grab a portobello mushroom, let's grab the same miso that we use in that, and let's spread it on the inside. And so that's what we do with
Okay,
the black
yeah.
orchid, which pretty much is probably why you like it because miso is just umami. It's
Yeah.
an umami
Yeah.
bomb.
Yeah.
But then from there we had the egg salad sandwich, which is like another one of those like some people are like, dude, yes. some people-
Togadon?
The Tomagadon.
Tomagadon. That's right.
Tomagadon. Which is a character from this like really weird show called Fighting Foodons. Really niche, but it's like a Pokemon show.
Okay.
But instead of it being little monsters, they're like food.
Ooh, that sounds awesome.
So you cook a dish
Yeah.
and then you throw this like meal ticket down on it and it becomes a monster. And you
What the hell?
It's a horrible show. Like I watched it
But
when I
you
was like
loved
8
it.
or 9, and I was like, I want to be a chef. This is what I want to do with my life.
Kind of like when I watched Jurassic Park and I wanted to own Jurassic Park. I just wanted to have
It's a
dinosaurs.
horrible investment idea.
I still look for mosquitoes that are in rocks, but I can't. I haven't found one yet.
Amber.
I looked.
you got to get a
Amber,
rock
amber,
tumbler.
amber.
Get the rock tumbler, and it'll take a while.
They're in there. You just don't see it. Sorry. Yeah. Continue.
Yeah. So from there we have the J-Bay, which we're gonna probably do a little bit of a different twist on that once better fruit is back in season. We got rid of that one, and we didn't get rid of it, but we kind of set it off because strawberries were out of season.
Yeah.
And they were super expensive. And the ones that we did buy, we were like, well, it's fine. They're super expensive, but we can still make money off the sandwich. But the ones that we got, I was like, dude, these strawberries suck. And
Not good quality.
not good quality. I'm not going to serve it. And so we took out the menu for a little bit, and then we had the I think that was it for the first 4.
It
Yeah.
was.
So I got the.
It was. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It was.
I got
Yeah.
the was it Rodan?
Rodan
chicken.
Yeah, so I got
Yeah.
that, and then I got the J-Bay and the dude. I ate the chicken. I'm like, man, this is good chicken. I bit into that J-Bay and I was like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And that one has Nutella and
Yeah.
matcha cream cheese.
Right.
So
with
good.
strawberries.
So good.
Dude, that one, I remember when I first bit into it when me and, like, I was, like, testing out everything with Joe, and Joe was like, oh, my God. And I was like, oh, my God. Like,
Like a
we're like, oh, my God.
I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like a dessert sandwich. What?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. And then I ate it. I was like, dude, this makes perfect sense
That's
now.
the only one I didn't get to have.
It was good.
And
was
then
good.
with the second one, I was like, we've got to, we got to change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, what are we going to do here, And so, oddly enough, like, I found, and I'm sure this is just going to expose me to everyone, but I really don't care. I was walking through Aldi, and I walked past the frozen fish, and I saw sushi grade, wild caught ahi tuna. And I'm like, huh?
Okay.
And so like I was like, let's see.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, like at Aldi for that price? No way. So I got home, I took out my knife, and I sashimi'd it, and made a little bit of rice, and popped it in my mouth, like, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Like, I'm like, let's see. Like, this is all for you. All for y'all out there.
I like how you're
wanted
the
to
guinea
see.
pig. You're the guinea pig in your own stuff.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
that.
And so I'm like, if I get sick in the morning, well, we're not having an ahi tuna sandwich. I can tell you that much. And so I woke up the next morning. I went in there and I grabbed it again and I was like,
Yeah.
ate it all. And I was like, all right, let's see what happens the next day. Nothing happened. And so I was like, okay, this is sushi grade. Like,
Wow. That is good to know.
Like ahi tuna. Like,
That's good to know.
if I told people where I got it, they'd be like, BS.
Yeah.
That's why I've kind of been like, turn the bag around. Don't let them know.
I would have told you that too.
Well,
Dude,
when we had it
yeah.
at Hot Fusion, that was we got your last two sandwiches that one night, right?
Yeah.
And one of them was what do you call that one
The
again?
Leviathan.
Leviathan. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
correct. And man, it was good. Like it was spicy, kind of like the chicken is,
Yeah.
right? It was spicy, but you could still. I mean, you had the pink. It was like very fresh, and I wouldn't have been able. I would have never thought.
So
Aldi.
wait a second. After the man says the name, you say it and you say that is correct.
You are correct, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
You are correct.
I know my own trivia. Do I get a beer?
You did
Surprise! Another beer.
you did good, sir.
So you do need another beer. Hold on. Actually, we need some
Yeah, we need to
maybe
get into
some
that.
sake.
The
We need to get into the
there.
sake.
So funny thing about this sake is that I was in Vegas,
Yeah.
and the first time I ever went to Vegas, I was just 21, and we
Just
had
a
this-
young lad of
yeah,
21.
we had this goal. We were going to go to every
lad.
single casino on the strip, and every single casino I go on the strip, I'm gonna
stupid idea.
stop and get one drink, right? And I saw, was it Taiku is how you say it? Okay.
Get your glass, Tim.
So I see it sitting there, and they had the bottle they had was like
Oh.
it was clear, and they have it on a base that lights up, and it was just glowing green. So I was like, I want to try that. And
Yeah.
so I had Taiku for the first time, 21 years old in Vegas, and it's actually really good sake. That was an excellent pour, sir.
So with sake, the tradition is the server cannot serve himself.
Ah.
And so you are older than I am. And so I would like a
how do
drink
you know?
Look at you.
because you went to high school with my
Look at
wife.
you.
And I know. And we've talked before. We know. And so you take your glass, and
Yeah.
when you're like, okay, I'm ready to be served, you go to, if the person on your right or left is, you go a little bit lower, and you're like,
Huh.
It's a respect thing. And
We went to
I
high
might be a
school-
little wrong about that, but yeah.
You went to high school with your wife?
Cheers.
She was younger.
She went to Castleberry?
Stephanie Connor.
Cheers, boys.
Stephanie Connor. Yeah. That doesn't ring a bell to me.
Yum, yum, yum.
She was in theater.
That's delicious. Okay, so you
You
have
look like
one
someone
more,
that would marry a
you have one
theater
more,
girl.
I was in theater.
You look like you'd be in
And
theater.
I was actually meaning to tell you guys this, but I've been on a reality TV show.
Shut up.
What?
Encore on Disney Plus.
Oh yes, I knew. Yeah, I knew that. Yes.
Yeah, so that's kind of the one thing sometimes that gets put on the back burner because, like, I was in the episode and I had a lot of different things I did in it because I was Lumiere and Beauty and the Beast, but, like, they didn't, like, spotlight on me. But I made $2,000 and got put up in a hotel for a week.
Oh
so-
my god.
That's freaking cool.
That's really
And had all my, like, beer, everything paid for. So it was freaking great.
That's awesome.
It was
Yeah.
legit. But yeah,
That was only a year or so ago, too.
we filmed it in March of 2019 and it
Yeah.
released in November 2019.
Somebody posted something about that. I don't know who it was, but they like it was local. I was like, oh, cool. All right, it's on Disney Plus. So you were in that.
I was
Yeah.
Holy shit!
yeah.
I got to go back and watch it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I got Disney Plus at home. We're gonna watch that tonight, I guess.
Be
So
our guest.
very nice. It's beautiful. So you have one more sandwich and then the fries, right?
Yes. So we introduced another one, and it's basically just to play off the fries. So we were like, we need to try something that's still vegetarian because people don't like the like orchid. People love these damn fries.
They're
So,
amazing.
Yes.
Instead of taking this, because like when I'm making the fries, I chop up the lengthwise and then I put it down and I chop it again, and then you make the spears. And so I was like, wait, I had these slabs when I was sitting there. I was like, why don't I just fry these? Let's try it.
Yeah.
And so like we did it, and we put two of them on top of each other. Unfortunately, nobody's ordered it yet. Everybody orders the fries.
Well, I understand why.
Yeah, I get it.
Especially like you're popped up at a brewery, and we got there. You were still supposed to be there for another hour or two, and you were already completely sold out, except for the 2 sandwiches we got.
Yep.
And you didn't have any fries, but you brought us this like 3 fry situation. He was like,
I tried to play
I'll
it.
bring you something. And there's like 3 fries
Just
with the
played it
sauce
really
and everything.
well.
And so Javier, me, and Tab each got our own fry, and all of us were like, holy shit, I wish we were here where we could have got more fries.
Yeah.
I get it. I mean, it plays well, especially at a brewery.
Yes.
And so, I mean, I don't know. It was great.
Yeah, and so that like we added it's called the Krakoa. Everything's based on like either comic book characters or Japanese anime or like kaiju stuff, and it's like, why not? I've always wanted to have a really like kitschy, niche like brand that just was like, we're doing whatever the hell we want with names,
right?
Because I'm most of the time a very serious person, but then when you get to know me, you're like, Ben's kind of weird and likes a lot of weird stuff.
Oh, you a goofball.
And I'm a goofball, but then like you see me online, everybody's like, dude, Ben's such a serious dude. And
Well,
I'm
you
like,
see your poses, you're like, this is my sandwich.
bro. and so then like you hang out with me for more than an hour, and you're like, dude, he's a fucking goofball.
In the best of ways,
In the best
sir.
of ways.
What's your favorite anime?
Probably it would be between Attack on Titan or
yes!
Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh, which one? Which one?
The first one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a reason-
I haven't seen the other ones.
Really?
Yeah, and I would say Dragon Ball Z as well.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're into anime, like you can't
have
sit
to-
there. You
you
have
have
to
to-
say Dragon Ball
Yeah,
Z.
absolutely.
I mean, you have to.
That's the first. Oh, Sailor Moon was the first one I saw.
I saw that too, and I wanted to be I wanted to be a Sailor Moon girl
I wanted to be
when
tu-
I was
I wanted to
younger.
be
And that's,
Tuxedo Mask.
when I say that, people they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable with myself." All right.
I mean, yeah, I was sexually attracted to Sailor Moon. Yeah, I mean, whatever.
but I also was like, I want those powers. Like, I want to hang out with them. They look cool. Like, I have to put on a skirt to do it and pigtails. Okay. Like, do we get to go and like fight monsters and like cast magic? That sounds great.
Who was your favorite? Mine was Mars.
I can't remember the names for the life of me right now. But it was always for me. It was always the lead.
Yeah.
Like whoever it was the leader for me. Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Ash Ketchum, Goku. I mean, like.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, Piccolo was technically my
Piccolo's
favorite.
daddy. Piccolo is daddy.
Yeah. So
Vegeta's my favorite though. I have Vegeta over there, like in the corner,
I do see Vegeta
just
there.
chilling over there.
Just
Yeah.
chilling.
Have you
Hates
watched
him.
Have you watched the new season of Attack on Titan? yet?
I haven't yet. No.
No. Oh! Okay, so moving on.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Things have gotten weird.
Okay, so are we gonna play
I think
this
it's a
game?
bromance
Let's play this
going
game.
Please, let's play this
There's
game.
Yeah,
one last
let's-
thing about
okay.
the household thing.
Yeah.
You had mentioned in an Instagram post, just as a thing. So the Instagram post was household is a band. Our pop-ups are our albums,
Right.
our concepts are our albums, and our pop-ups are touring. So the whole idea is, I had this thing. I was like, because people are like, we kind of get it, but we don't. What is it? I'm like, okay, household is the people that are encompassing within household. Vern, my wife, other people. We're a band. We get together. We jam with food and different things, and then we come up with something that's an album, which would be Sakushi Sando. And then when we go pop up with Sakushi Sando, that's our tour. And so it's like basically like right now we're working on a sourdough pan pizza concept. Like I'm working on that. Like I'm working on like a Jewish deli concept. Like, and so all these different concepts that like you may, in a year you may be like, man, I miss Sakushi. We haven't seen it in a while. And I'm like, cool. Well, I'm going to do one this weekend. You
Right.
know? Like, and so like, I'll bring Sakushi back for a week,
But you'll have all of these things in your tool belt.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you're learning a shit ton, right? As you
Yeah.
jump between these apparently different genres of food,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like it's really cool that you're able to do that. And I know that you've worked at a bunch of different places. We've been through it at this point.
Yeah.
That you've learned a lot from all of these different places that you've worked, the people that you've met along the way,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right? And so it's cool that you're able to kind of switch it and go completely different, like completely right field, and go, okay, well, just try this. Why not? Why the hell not?
All while roasting coffee.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Bro, it's pretty cool. Like,
And people always said like, Ben, like your ideas are too much, and I'm just like, I used to get like kind of down in my feels about it. I'm like, I know, I probably just need to just pick one thing, and then like this year with 2020, like I just went like F that, like no,
he's
like
flipping us off.
yeah. I know I it's video, but I also know that it's like audio. But I was like I'm gonna do me, and you know what?
Enthusiastically.
Everybody's talking about I'm gonna do me, I'm gonna
Yeah,
do me, and
why
I'm just
not?
like I'm gonna do me too.
Yeah,
okay,
hell
so like
yeah.
if you don't like it, then
Do you feel
Cheers
like
to that. And then Javier goes, what is it now,
Already
Javier?
done.
What is
Do you feel like in the year 2020, since everything's kind of shut down and we're all kind of separated, do you think now this past year would have been the time to find your niche, your hustle, like your side project?
I mean, I think that it would have been a perfect time to. But that doesn't mean that because 2020 is over and maybe you've gone back to work now, or it doesn't mean that
It's
that's
not the only time, right?
It's not the only time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been the thing is I've been working on figuring this whole thing out. Like if you sat down and talked to Steph, my wife, she'd probably give a way better story than I've given. All of it would be way more succinct. It would have probably taken 5 minutes. Like, yeah. But she would have said, "Oh, Ben has been preparing for this time of his life for 10 years." Like, she sees the thread through everything.
Right.
There's other people that have been like, "Ben's so wishy-washy. Like, he makes no sense. He switches his mind," and she sits there. She's like, "No, you're not seeing it.
Right.
You're not seeing what he's doing. Like everything it's what you said. It's a toolbox."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've done design, I've done filmmaking, I've done this.
Your
I've done
movements
that.
have been purposeful.
Yeah, and I'm like, I need to learn a little bit more about this. I'm gonna go work in it for a while.
Well, and I love the branding behind Sakushi Sando, like all of your like, like the icons. I call them icons, logos,
No, yeah,
whatever
yeah.
for the sandwiches or
Yeah.
whatever. Like I think that it's really smart, and you do the same thing for household, and you did, and you had the flag and everything, and I was like, man, this is super smart, simple, but like clean, clear. You know exactly what you're getting yourself into, and so yeah, I do think that it's been like this, like addition to get to where you are. And I haven't known you for 10 years, but for the 7 or so years that I've known you, I have definitely seen and watched that kind of like growth between the different things. And if you're not learning from what you're doing, even if you fucking hate it, right? You can hate what you do. You can hate where you are or the freaking thing that your wife drags you to that you have to sit there for no reason. But there's something in that to learn from, right? And I feel like you're learning from it and taking that with you to make it and grow into something else, which is really, really cool.
You know, part of the big thing with household and Sakushi is hospitality.
Yeah.
Like that's technically the biggest part of it all is just providing hospitality. And so, dude, when I worked with you, it's customer service.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like I had already
Pick
worked
stuff up.
customer service before, but like, like even working, where we worked, like that, like dealing with some of the things that we had to deal with were way different than what you had to deal with within a restaurant, which is my background. And there was some days where I was just like, I want to blow my brains out because these people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm so done hearing these questions. These questions are ridiculous.
All right.
Data plan? What do you mean you got to have a data plan? What?
Data plan. This one needs braces.
Can you
Data
fix my
plan.
remote? Can you fix my remote? And I'm like, no, that's not even us. We
And
can give you
now-
the service, but we cannot fix it.
And leave me alone, please. And now it's time for our segment that we made up today,
Yeah, I think this is a good way to end our episode.
right?
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you wanted to mention, or why don't you say a couple of the hashtags or names?
Are you okay?
Jesus,
Are you having a stroke?
a little
Yeah.
bit. It was that Taiku.
Yeah.
What
Sake
Instagram?
Taiku.
Like,
Yeah,
what's
what are
your
handles?
spots?
Handles is the word
Handles.
I'm looking for.
Handle-
So you can follow Household at We Are Household on
Thank
Instagram.
you.
I'm mostly on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, but
Yeah, who's really on?
I'm on Facebook personally because all my friends are there. But when it comes to business, I'm just like,
Yeah, Instagram.
yeah, Instagram is where it's at. And then you can follow Sakushi Sando at Sakushi Sando. And then mine is the Ben Walter. So
And
Is
we'll
there a
leave all
spot-
that in the notes
Yeah.
as well for the episode.
And also, maybe is there a spot where they can enter him into like the best of 2020?
Oh yeah, if you go to the Fort Worth magazine, where you've
Yeah.
probably been voting for these guys as radio personality, which I've
You
done
better
50
be if
times
you're
now.
watching
Thank
this.
you,
You
sir.
should be.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and so you can go vote for Sakushi Sando as best pop up. And here's the thing: I don't think there's any other pop ups in Fort Worth that are doing.
God damn, yes. So
And
you heard him.
I hate to put it out there. I know a lot of people that are popping up at breweries right now, but nobody. I haven't seen anybody post about it from those pop ups. And I'm like, I think I might win it.
Dude, we
I
hope
hope
so.
Yeah. Hope so, man.
Yeah.
So you heard it here. Go ahead and vote for Sakushi Sando as your favorite pop up here in Fort
Best
Worth.
of Fort Worth
Best of Fort
2021.
Worth 2021.
All right, so we made up this segment today, and we're going to see how this goes. So, yeah, can I have some more, too? Because that's all I... Obviously, I can't say words already. This is going to get even better if I have a little bit more sake. So what we call this is... What, Javier?
Well, we're not doing what Javier said.
No. He made the name up, though.
Yeah, but you got the drop, right?
Okay, so you want me to do a drop?
Do the
Well,
drop.
this segment's called
Yeah.
Anyways, the concept of this is we're going to be going. We don't know us three. We're going to ask Ben, which is a truth and a lie. We can either tell one truth or one lie,
or two truth and two lies. So basically, we're going to go do it, and we're going to do two of these each, right?
Yeah.
And so we're going to say, I confess blank. And then Ben has to figure out if that confession is true or false by asking two questions right after that confession. Okay?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
It's pretty
Okay.
much like which one's true, which one's false.
Yeah.
Or
And I get 2 questions to try to figure it out.
two questions, yeah.
So, Tim.
Wait, hit it? Hit it again?
I gotta.
Anyways, this segment's called.
Dude, I'm not. Hang on. I didn't know we were doing it again. Hang on.
You got to do it every time.
This is the
Hey,
worst.
Ben, I confess, I did ride that tortoise bareback. You have to do it after.
You can stop.
I think it's
do it the
funny.
first
I think it's funny. To do it after. I think it's gold. That's gold. Oh man. What kind of tortoise was it?
That's a great question. That is not something I have the answer to.
Oh.
It was a tortoise. It was a large tortoise.
BS.
You get one other question.
I'm just gonna go ahead and BS it.
BS?
BS.
The fact of the matter is, I did ride a tortoise 10 years ago in Mexico.
And he
I was
didn't have
there.
a saddle on,
What?
so
I
it
was
was
there.
technically
I was-
bareback.
Yeah.
I'm
There
gonna
was-
I'm gonna suck at this game.
I think you just dropping that, it just makes it a lot
He
better.
just does it whenever he wants to.
He just knows like when it needs to
Yeah,
happen. and
exactly.
It's perfect.
All right, who's next?
I honestly
Javier?
didn't know the concept of this game. I thought we were going to tell him like two things that he had to say that was like true or false.
No, he gets to ask two questions
And
if
then-
he wants,
Okay.
or just guess true or
Tim,
false.
go. You go, Tim.
All right. I gotta keep from trying to laugh through this
Right,
because
yeah.
even if it's, I'll just forewarn you. Even if it's real or false, it's still I'm still gonna laugh.
Yeah, right.
So, in just background in my line of work, I work in an ambulance, and we're around certain smells every once in a while, and I have farted and blamed it on a patient.
Is that your confession?
See, I feel like that would be my confession too. I've never been on an ambulance.
Okay, so
I
you
would-
get
I
two
would blame it-
questions
I would
to
blame
ask
it on
Timothy.
yeah. Did the patient hear you?
No,
Why did you blame it on the patient?
my partner in the truck started looking around like something smelled.
This is truth. This is truth.
That is correct.
Was it the chair this time?
Seriously.
Oh my god, I thought that was a fart.
Oh, that's so great.
So, Javier,
Javier, it's your turn.
I've posted a picture of my dick on my personal OnlyFans.
What's your OnlyFans handle?
It used to be Lucifer Juice 69.
Used to be.
But I changed it because Tim knows why, but I had to change it.
Okay. See, this one just like I'm like this could be possible.
The question was, or the answer was, I posted a
It's
picture
I
of my
confess.
dick. I confess that my dick is on my personal OnlyFans.
Did you make any money off of it?
No,
This is true.
it's true. I did get 3 views though, so that's good. So whoever, my dick is still up there.
If you would have said I did make money off it, I would have said, false.
That would have been, yeah,
Yeah, so you're 2 for 3 currently, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Man,
that was really good.
apologies to everyone about Javier's.
They're gonna be like, "What's this?" I'm gonna go back to Lucifer Juice 69 and see if that.
That's why I asked what the handle was, so everybody would know.
You're
shit,
welcome. Or I'm sorry. Yeah.
Whichever one. You choose your own adventure.
All right. Back to me. This is kind of a rough one because it's something that I have kind of gone by. I confess, I didn't actually hit all 50 states by the time I hit 30.
Damn it, Chad.
I mean, you had
Which states have you not hit?
By the time I hit 30, one more, it was Alaska.
Have you been
Bro, it's
gold.
perfect.
Gold.
This is gold. Because it also messes up the person. So, have you been to Alaska?
I have now, yeah.
You have now.
I'm 34 now.
I'm going to say this is true.
This, sir, is false. I did hit all 50 states, and I hit Alaska right before my 30th birthday.
These are my confessions. I feel like that I remember you like either saying something about this or like, and I'm like,
I got you both times,
Dude.
bitch.
All right. He made us go on a 2,100-mile road trip
Yeah, we did.
in how many days?
It was like 5 days. It was 5 days. We hit 7 states, 2,100.
2,100 miles to try to knock out.
7
the
states.
last 7 states.
Well, right before Alaska, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yep. Your turn, Tim.
Yeah. Wow.
I
Confess.
confess that I was yanked out of a car by Fort Worth PD and placed in handcuffs less than a mile from my house.
These are my confessions.
What were you doing at the time?
Driving my car.
Where were you going?
I was going home.
This is true.
These are my confessions.
That is correct.
Dang! He can read you like a book,
Hey, yeah.
playing you like a
I know.
fiddle.
I know. Just like a fiddle.
All right, Javier. Let's see what you got.
I must confess, I met Donald Glover and called him a douchebag.
These are my confessions.
As he looks at the poster behind him.
I'm not even going to ask questions. This is bullshit.
You say bullshit? No
I
questions?
said bullshit. No questions.
No questions.
No questions.
No questions?
There's no questions to
I
ask.
did.
What did you did? What?
Give him the
I met-
context.
okay, so when the Super Bowl was here, like in 2011, I went to a Bud Light hotel party that my friend invited me to. This is before Donald Glover was still on Community.
Yeah, he
Anybody
wasn't.
who-
He wasn't Childish.
He wasn't
Gambino
Childish
yet.
Gambino. He was Childish
Why
Gambino,
would
but
you
he
call
only.
him a douchebag.
Here's the thing: Mike the Bike does not like
question.
our friend Mike the Bike hates Donald Glover. And whenever I met him, I was really drunk with my best friend Anthony, and then I said, "I love you." Well, first of all, he was with one of the guys who was on Derek Comedy with him, and I was like, Donald Glover, and he looked over and he came over. I got a picture with him on my Facebook. And so he came over, and I'm like, "I love you, but my friend thinks you're a douchebag." There's the concept where I said that my
Shit.
friend thinks you're
Yeah.
a douchebag.
Yeah.
And Mike the
Because
Bike,
in my mind, it immediately went to that
You're
you
a
don't
douchebag.
like you're a douchebag,
Right.
and I'm like,
Like you don't like him.
That can't be true. That can't be true, right?
false.
but he's like, what did I do to him? And I'm like, I don't know. And so, anyways, we talked for a bit, and I was like, can I get a picture? And he's like, yeah, let's go. And so we're about to take a picture. He's like, wait, hold up. You're not going to get stabbed because your friend's not going to stab you, is he? And I thought it was really cool. And so we took the picture. We took a couple.
That's pretty
pictures.
funny. Well, you were 3 for 3. That's
Yeah.
pretty. I mean, 3 for 6. So you were half.
Yeah.
These are my confessions.
And this was another segment
These
of.
are my confessions.
Damn it, Tim! Stop.
You just said to keep hitting it. Hey, I'm just doing what I was told.
It's beautiful. I'm so glad that you found that clip. You got the clip
Yeah,
before the
me too.
episode.
What you should do is, because if you don't want to get copyright struck on that, I can just sing "These Are My Confessions." You can use it from now on.
Yeah, we can just do that.
Hold on. Let's get Ben to go ahead and get a
Let's
couple.
do it. Let's hear what that beautiful voice
All
do.
right. Let's see what we got. These are my confessions.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Now you've got to replace every one of those drops that you did with that.
No.
He's like, but the more work.
Why must you make me work?
You can put it on a button.
You fool!
Well, Ben, it's been really fun to have you on. Again, you can find Ben. You want to drop your actual handle is at the Ben Walter, right?
The Ben Walter,
And
yeah.
then you can find his household at We Are Household, and then Sakushi Sando at Sakushi Sando. That's SEKUSHISANDO. And if you are at Hot Fusion on Fridays and Saturdays?
Yes, yeah.
Right.
We just changed it Fridays and Saturdays. Yeah.
So Hot Fusion Friday or Saturday, you can catch Ben and what's the other guy's name?
Vern Jackson.
Vern.
Vern.
Yeah, so Vern
My kitchen director.
Yeah, and they're going to be dropping some sandwiches. You can also go and search for them online, and you can pre-order, right? So delicious sandwiches. The fries are bomb, and of course, Hot Fusion is one of our faves. So you can't lose there. Thank you for coming on. We really appreciate
I love you guys.
Love you. I mean, we didn't say we love you, but we do love you.
That's kind of mean.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was
of
just
course.
proactively saying
proactively
because he
saying.
knew. He
I
knew.
love
I
everyone.
love you guys.
These are my confessions.
Just got to get one last one in there.
So thank you for watching us. If you're watching us on Twitch and YouTube, if you don't already, please subscribe or follow. It does a lot for us. Also, if you don't already follow us on social media, you can find us at the Funky Panther on everything: Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We appreciate you. We love you. Stay good. I'm Chad.
I'm Javier.
And I'm Tim.
And we are
the Funky Panther. Okay, bye.
I must confess.